Hey guys, it's Han behind the camera. Um, and today I'm just here to celebrate 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. So thank you guys so much for getting me to 1,000 subs. Um, I know 1,000 isn't that many in the vast scheme of YouTube nowadays with people with tens of millions of subscribers. Um, so 1,000, especially for a small guy like me, is a pretty big deal. I'm not professional, obviously, in any way. I'm just some Joe Schmo just behind the camera talking about his RC cars. So even the fact that 1,000 of you guys decided that I'm worth regularly watching means so much to me. Especially since I didn't really make the channel expecting even a single sub. I don't have any plans of being a YouTuber or whatever. Not that 1,000 subs makes me a YouTuber, but um, I literally just made a channel to supplement my own enjoyment of the hobby. I don't have a lot of like RC car friends in real life. And the few friends I do that are into RC cars, they're not quite into like the niche and weird stuff that I am into. I'm mostly into like a lot of old stuff. I can see like my Tamiyas here, and just Tamiya kits in general. And Tamiya is just not as popular anymore. Most people are into like Redcats and Traxxas and Losi and RTRs and stuff. And RTRs, I do have some RTRs, enjoy some RTRs, but for the most part, my bread and butter is pretty Tamiya stuff, and I don't really have anyone to talk to about that stuff. So I just kind of made some records for myself so I can have someone to listen to, even if it's just myself, while I work on my cars or something. So, and I can't realistically keep all my cars just for financial reasons and just space. So I thought it'd be pretty neat to make a record, like a video record of like all the cars I've owned, just driving around and what I thought about it at the time. And I thought it'd be a good little video diary to make. But as I did that, it seemed like some of you guys actually enjoyed or enjoy my content. So that really means a lot to me. And I'll continue to produce content. Maybe I'll be back here in 2,000 subs or 3,000. Who knows? I'm still not making this channel, like making videos on this channel with the hopes of gaining lots of subscribers or whatever. If you enjoyed my video, if what I said in my videos was helpful for you or enjoyable for you, that's good enough for me. So um, even though I do say subscribe at the end of the video, that's just kind of something that comes out of habit while making YouTube videos. But thank you guys for 1,000 subs, and I'll continue to make more content. And I hope you guys continue to enjoy the stuff I make. But in the meantime, instead of looking at my little static tripod shot of my RC shelf over here, which by the way, I have a new hobby room set up in my apartment, so I'll do a tour of that on New Year's, kind of like I did last year, kind of going over what my collection looks like at the end of 2021. So that should be pretty fun. But for now, I have something prepared for you guys on the workbench, so let's go check that out. So I thought it'd be pretty neat to talk about the top 3 most viewed RC cars on my channel. Um, uh, these are the cars that pretty much get my channel the most exposure, so I thought it'd be I thought it'd be neat to kind of put an overview of those cars and the videos that I made about those cars. So to start off, we have at number 3 with a little over 9,000 views. We have of course, these are all at the time of this filming, but around 9,000 views at the moment. We have the Redcat Volcano. Now, this is one of my favorite RC cars ever. And if you guys have seen my recent video of me unboxing the new Volcano EPX Pro, you will, and the keen observer will also know that this is not the same Volcano that I had before. You can kind of tell from the body. This is not the original body. The stickers are different, and the wheels are of the brushless one. But I just wanted to put this body on it, so it looks more similar to the truck that I actually did the review on. And that video was my first ever like edited and um like edited video, like RC review, was the full review of the brushed version of the Volcano. And a lot of people saw that video and I think found it pretty informative because as much as I love this car and as much as I think this is a great car for, especially for entry-level people, unfortunately, because it is considered kind of like an off-brand, like a knockoff or whatever, like cheap car, it doesn't really get a lot of respect, and it doesn't really get a lot of professional attention. I know like RC Driver recently did a review on it, but it didn't really get too high of marks. And that's unfortunate, and that's also slightly the fault of Redcat for not doing the proper adjustments to get it to be pretty decent. But um, a lot of people watched that video, found it informative enough to go out and spend their own hard-earned money on one of these. And that was the first time that I realized that stuff I say on my channel actually make a difference to some people. Because even though this is a cheap truck, and especially the brush one coming out around like 170 bucks, even though it is a pretty cheap truck, $170 for, especially if you're not like super into RC cars or like it's not your hobby yet, $170 is a lot of money to spend, and not everyone's coming from the same financial circumstances. So $170 can mean different things to different people. So the fact that people are going out and spending their own hard-earned money on my recommendation uh, was really inspiring for me, and also put um, like let me know that like the stuff that I talk about isn't just rambly, useless garbage. So uh, this was the first truck that kind of opened my eyes to that. So it's really cool and special in that way. Along with the fact that I just really love this truck. I actually really like the old body on it. It's the really rounded shape. I know some people think it's ugly. Most people think it's ugly actually, but I actually quite like the look of this body. I might go on eBay and find like an original one with the old Redcat logo on it, because I personally really like the old logo a lot better than this new Hellcat looking logo. But this one is going to be a basher body. So this particular one I don't really care about. The actual body that it came with, for those that don't know, is this updated, much nicer looking body. Objectively, I think this one does look way, way cooler than this one, but it's just for nostalgia. I really like that body. But yeah, that the video for this is pretty significant for me and my channel. So definitely holds a pretty high spot, kind of emotionally for me, and sentimentally for me. So uh, pretty cool. This is the first time I've ever owned a brushless version, and I'm gonna be doing running videos and all the usual stuff with this. It's just really cold and the weather's not really up to par right now to run. And with me moving into my new apartment, I have to actually find an area where it's appropriate to run these cars without bothering anyone. I do live in the city now, so it's a little bit more difficult for me to find like open areas to drive the cars. So that's something I'm working on. But once I do that, you'll see this thing running. You can see it, the 8 shocks and all the aluminum parts for less than 250 bucks. That's really, really good. The tires are a lot better than the one I had too, so that's really nice to see. Just again, a couple free adjustments you make to this thing, and it just becomes an absolute amazing entry-level vehicle. So I've rambled and talked about this thing and gushed over this truck plenty before, and will probably continue to do. So let's kind of move on to the next truck at number 2. At number 2, with I think about 14,000 views, we have the review for the Traxxas Summit. Now, the Traxxas Summit is a classic in the RC community since it came out. There's still nothing else like the Summit, and that's kind of what makes it a unique vehicle and pretty cool. And especially now, the price of this thing has come down significantly. I think when it first came out, it was like $500-$600. This version now is sitting closer to like mid $400, which there's a lot of cars that are way over that aren't as unique as this. So I think it's a pretty cool truck, coming from the like the XO cage to the big wheels, the locking diffs, basically the predecessor to the TRX4. And I just absolutely love this truck. The video for this was the full review video for it, and I actually don't really like that video. I don't think I did a very good job on that video, but for some reason it's one of my most viewed videos and the most commented. And I think that's purely because of the subject matter. The Summit is just a really cool truck, and most of the people that actually view that video are people that already have Summits. So I think Summit people are just looking for other people to talk about Summits with, because again, being like such a unique vehicle, there's nothing else really like a Summit, and it's completely possible for you to be an RC enthusiast and just exclusively be into Summits. They're just unique enough to do that. This one I got for Christmas around, I think, last year. And I've had a lot of fun with it since. Beat the heck out of it. Drove it really hard, both like rock bouncing, rock crawling, just overall bashing skate parks. And this thing has stood up really well. I'm actually really impressed. Very, very few parts have actually broken on it. And the parts that did break, I ended up just upgrading. And it's pretty bulletproof. I think the only thing that's still broken on it is the LED lights, or the wiring is torn. So those flicker on and off sometimes, but that's not really a functional thing, so I don't really care. But I do have plans for this thing. You will see this again, and I actually have footage of this video of this truck with some of the new upgrades I put on it and just testing it out and driving it. I just haven't been able to edit up a lot of videos recently. So that's kind of on the back burner, along with a lot of other videos that I have footage for, but just haven't like spliced together. So those are all kind of in the back burner at the moment, but you will see it. And I'll just kind of show you a quick overview. You can see that the wheels and tires are no longer stock. These are the Duratrax 3.8 Hatchet MTs. I really like these tires. They're slightly larger than the stock ones and also much heavier than the stock ones, but the tires hold their shape a lot better, and I actually really like the tread of it. It's a nice like off-road, aggressive monster truck all-terrain kind of hybrid tread going on there. So I think it looks really cool. And the wheels that come on it are also pretty cool as well. So really happy with these wheels and tires. The stock wheels and tires actually, the tires actually tore because the Summit stock tires aren't actually that great. The reason they grip so well is just purely because they're so thin. They're able to be soft because of how thin they are, but that also means they tear pretty easily. So these wheels and tires are definitely an upgrade. I also have a clear body for this and some decals to do some work on this thing to make it look a little bit more special. For right now, it just has the stock orange body with some MCI decals, making it look kind of like a Fox edition. So it already looks kind of unique in that way, but I wanted something just completely custom. So that's going to be coming up once the weather warms up. Under the body, we have some upgrades on here. I don't remember if I upgraded the springs or not. I don't know if I did that. I might have. I'm not quite sure. But I definitely did change the ESC because the stock ESC, I didn't like it. I'll save a lot of that talk because I do talk about it a lot more in the video I already filmed. So, but basically I switched it over to a Hobbywing ESC. This actually originally bought for my Clodbuster, but I actually really like the stock ESC on my Clodbuster, so I ended up just throwing this one in here. It's running EC3 connectors, a little adapter here. Both servos I destroyed, so they're both upgraded to the Amazon like Zuski Animos like 25 kg servo. So those work really well, and definitely an upgrade over the stock Traxxas 2075 servos. Metal Gear, they're faster, torqueier, so just overall better. Most of the shifting servos also went out because these Traxxas micro servos are absolute garbage. They're just way too fragile. Even on my like Teton that I had, Trax Teton, they used this servo as their steering servo, and it was terrible. It broke way too easily. So I have one that I have. One of the servos is a Savox servo, and the other one is the Traxxas Metal Gear replacement. The Traxxas one is obviously a bolt-in. The Savox one, it'll fight you because it's Traxxas, and Traxxas wants you to use their stuff. So if it's not their stuff, they're gonna make you. They're gonna put. It's gonna put up a fight basically. So the Savox one doesn't work perfectly, but it is functional at the moment. So that's staying in there unless something else breaks. One more servo there left, just hanging on by a thread. So that'll probably go at some point as well. I also have the rear brace on here that I put in, and just slowly upgrading it as things come in. I actually also have a full set of Traxxas Slayer, like short course arms for this, because I originally bought this with the intention of doing the Traxxas Summit LT mod, which if you guys aren't familiar with the LT mod, basically it narrows the track so it'll be the size of like a 10 scale trail truck, more or less. So you have like an independent suspension trail truck with fully remote locking diffs and 2-speed transmission, which is pretty unique. And that really appealed to me, so I wanted to do that. So I tried to do it. It didn't quite work out. I didn't quite like the look of it, so I just converted it back to stock form, and I've just been absolutely enjoying it ever since. I don't make a lot of videos about my Summit just because to drive this thing, I have to like plan out a whole day. So that's why you don't really see it that often, but trust me, this thing has been through the ringer. I absolutely abuse this truck, and it's definitely one of my favorite trucks. I'll have to bring back my favorite RC car series so I can talk about some of these new cars that I've really fallen in love with. But I think I've talked about the Summit long enough. So let's move on to number one. So at number one, we have the Traxxas 1/16 scale Summit. The Summits are really getting a lot of love on my channel for some reason. And I don't really blame people because it's a pretty cool truck. And you can see this is much, much smaller than the 10th scale Summit. That's a whole discussion for this different time. But yeah, much smaller. So let's actually get closer to the truck. So here we have my 16th scale Summit. And I did make a running video and kind of update on the new body and stuff like that, I believe. No one really watched it, but the video with, I think, 17,000 views is the review for this thing when it was bone stock, and I was just reviewing it. Originally, I had bought this purely to just review, but I just really fell in love with it and ended up keeping it. And as you can see, I've done quite a lot of work to it as well, and I just absolutely love how it looks now. I've actually this is my second 16th scale Summit. I originally bought a 16 scale Summit when the Rock and Roll Brushed Edition first got announced. Literally as soon as the trailer dropped, the release footage dropped on YouTube, I immediately called up my hobby shop and ordered one. But I had a few issues with that one, as well as not quite knowing how to enjoy this car. So I ended up getting rid of it. But after a while, this truck kind of ended up coming back around. I ended up getting another one, and by that time, I kind of understood a little bit better how to enjoy a Summit, and it definitely wasn't the way I was driving my old one. Because the old one, I would drive it mostly on the street. Not that this isn't fun on the street, but on the street, it's not really a street car, obviously, so it flips over a lot. And in stock form, the motor is so large that it's a little too fast for its own good, in my opinion, as well as just flipping over constantly. The servo would break constantly, so got really frustrated with the original one, but this one, I've kind of dialed it in and really figured out how to enjoy it. So you can see, obviously, the body has been changed. This is a stock body that I've painted up in this Red Bull color scheme. The decals are from MCI Racing, so I think it looks really good. Some of it is the result of some mistakes I made while painting it, but there's only happy little accidents, right? And I think it turned out very good. I like how I actually painted the windshield and the windows, like tint, not use the sticker. I think this looks much better. And I did get a new cage for it as well, so it won't be sitting on a fresh body with like a beat up cage. So the cage is newer than the original one. And just overall really love how this thing looks. Though it still does have the stock wheels and tires, because I do actually really like the stock wheels and tires. I don't have any plans on changing them. I painted the beadlock ring so it would look a little different. If I can track down some other wheels, some of the older ones with the colored beadlock rings, I might do that. I'm not quite sure yet, but I mostly love the look of it, and I've changed some stuff in it. I put thicker diff fluid in here, so it'll do a little bit better in like a trail truck kind of light crawling duty, because it doesn't have a locking diff. So the best you can do is kind of make it have like a limited slip diff. So that's what I went and did. I have the Savox motor in here and the Savox servo in here, because the stock one got destroyed, as all of them do. Also changed out the springs in this for some stiffer springs, so it doesn't squat as much, and it overall just handles a little bit better. I also put thicker oil in the shocks, so again, the shocks work a little bit better. IC3 connector, same thing as EC3 connector, because that's what most of my batteries are. I don't have any Traxxas batteries, so switch that out. And the motor has changed to a slower 20-turn Stinger, Traxxas Stinger. That decreases speed, but it increases runtime, as well as lowers the center of gravity a little bit, because it's a much lighter and smaller motor than compared to the Titan 12-turn 550 that they shove in this thing, which I think is ridiculous. The receiver also is changed, so it's running on my Spectrum receiver now. I'm not running that Traxxas receiver anymore. But yeah, I absolutely love this thing. I actually like this one much more than my Big Summit, mostly because I can actually play with this one more often. Like I mentioned with the Big Summit, because it's so large, I have to plan out a whole day to drive it. I have to like actually go somewhere, like a park or something, to drive it. I have to plan out the day and like charge up LiPo batteries ahead of time. And then after I'm done running it, because it's so large and picks up so much crap, I have to spend a lot of time cleaning it so it doesn't like dirty up my apartment, or just get rusty in general. So the Big Summit is really fun to drive, but just have to plan out a whole weekend for it. Whereas this one, I can just literally pick it up off the shelf and sticks the nickel metal batteries in there and just drive it. In the parking lot, at the beach, just literally take it, just put it in my bag and just go. So I like it a lot for that, as well as like you get like 80% of the fun of the Summit without the downfalls of the size. So I think it's a really nice truck. I absolutely love it, and this is definitely one of my favorite RC cars that I own. And I'm really proud and really happy that this truck right here has the most views on my channel. Would I like the most views to be my good old lunchbox here? Absolutely. But unfortunately, this is a really old truck. No one's really interested in this truck anymore, except for like Tamiya people and like old people. Sorry if I called you old and you're only like 30 something, but it is what it is. This is what people are into now. Traxxas, Redcat, Losi, like RTRs. This is what people are into. So it's inevitable that this truck and trucks like it are going to get more views on my channel. But nevertheless, as long as people are enjoying RC, I'm happy. I'm happy, and I'm happy to continue to make videos like that. So I don't know if you can tell, but I didn't really plan this out in detail. Like most of my videos, I'm just kind of shooting off the hip. And at the risk of becoming too rambly soon, I will let you guys go there. Again, thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. I hope to hang out with you guys more on this channel. If you guys don't know, I have an Instagram as well. You can find me at Han Hobbies. I'm kind of thinking about changing the channel name because Han Hobbies is a kind of a vague name and makes it kind of hard to find my channel. So I'm thinking about changing the name. So if I do, I'll make an announcement about that. So just a lot of things kind of going through my mind. But I know this was a long video, so if you stuck it out for the entire thing, thank you guys so much. Hope everything I said made sense. I have a bad habit of just rambling on and I can't actually remember what I just said. There I go rambling again. So anyway, before I hold you hostage here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. And thank you guys for helping me enjoy the hobby just that much more. So until next time, I'll see you guys next time. That's a terrible outro, but yeah, bye.